Okay, so the next sheets are sheet number 15, which is the docking bay, but it's one of two, this sheet, this set as it were. So it's 2 of 2 is sheet number 16 as well, which is obviously part 2 of the docking bay. So we've got the two sheets to look at. Let's just have a look at the first sheet, and sort of we're going to need parts of the second sheet at the same time. So first of all, let's see if we can pop this guy together. Your main big open kind of docking bay hangar thingy, where all your shuttles and everything else is going to be coming through, the troops. So pop out this large surround here. And again, you've got your half cuts on here, which just need to be popped around, and on here. And before you put these on, remember you make any adjustments to the slots as needed. And I would say that we've got a slot there that needs adjusting, and possibly a slot there that needs adjusting. And then just, maybe on these actually. Possibly a little bit. Test it on the card. Yeah, a little bit of adjustment actually on the surrounds. So that one's fine. It's just this one. So okay, so pop that one in there. Pop it down. This one across. Now this one should fit quite nicely, and it doesn't have to be under as much tension as something like this, because on these you've got here, you have to have the clips to stop it from bowing, but here you see you absolutely don't need it. And the reason is because these need to be held in place a lot more solid, because they've got these large triangular bits here, so any kind of movement would knock this out. It doesn't suffer, the docking bay doesn't suffer from that, because it's all kept inside its own unit. Okay, so you just pop the bits together. This one didn't need any adjustment at all. On it goes. Okay, and that's the top and bottom parts of that, and then the thing just clips together using your ordinary clips here and here. Okay, you can see there's a clip in that there. Okay, that creates the main part of the docking bay, and of course that then just sits in your set on a double level set. You need 2 levels, 1, 2, in order to get that up there. Of course you can just use half of it if you want to. If you've got the Hulk set, you can, for example, from the Kickstarter, you can still just use that bottom part of that, okay, as a kind of, and you can have nice ribs all the way through a corridor or something fantastic like that, no problem at all. Okay, so that's that part. Let's do the little ramp that kind of sits inside it like that. Okay. What we've got is we've got your ramp parts here, which are, there's one which have just got slots on one side, but there's one, this middle one, that's got slots all the way around. Okay, and then you've got these, which again, oh, there's a bit of card in that one as well. Come here. Can't get you. There you go. Any more? No. And then you've got these bits here which might need adjustment in some places. That's fine. That's fine. I don't know, jury's out on that. Okay. So, and all you're going to do basically is slot it together. I'm not sure if there's a good or a bad order way to do this. I think that one needs adjusting. Let's see what happens. Oh, that certainly, hang on. That certainly needs adjusting on here. Yeah, pop the bits in. 1, 2, 3, and this is the one I thought might need adjusting. Bit tight, bit tight. Yeah, get away with that. Okay. Then we've got those bits that just slot in there. Do. It's nice and tight. On this side, in. Lovely, perfect, absolutely solid. So, what else we got on here? We've got the control tower, which is this part here. Okay, the control tower doesn't have a floor because the gantries themselves that are part of the set create the floor for that. Okay, so and it can only be used on a second level anyway, so it's only good for stronghold. So to pop that together, here we go. Again, make any adjustments that you need to make on here. So you've got I put a little bit of an adjustment here on these clips here. There's a bend here. Now, because you've got holes here as well, you need to do that. You don't want to just do this. You want to get it right on the actual bend itself, and be careful when you're doing it. That's it. You don't want to bend it too far, because it doesn't need to go that far. Okay, so you got that like so. Make any adjustments that you might need on here. Probably a little bit of an adjustment there. And then the whole thing just kind of slots together. You've got, as we just did it, bent it through. You've got one L clip on here, one L clip on there, and you grab your bit, okay, and you put it. So you're going to slot your L clip on, just like that, and then you'll see a bit like a little tab on there, and that just slots into this little slot that we've got on here, just here, like so. That's one. Oops, not going properly. Okay, and then on the other side, once you've got that, you have your console piece, and you've got these little clips here, and you just slide that on there, and it makes this kind of bit here. And when you clip it with your L clips, you've got a bit of the clip just sitting on there, and that's what it clips onto, right in the very corner. One and two, and that creates the control tower, as it were. Okay, so that's the control tower part, where your figures can be sitting in and having a bit of a peeping Tom at whoever's down at the bottom. So, all that's left really are your struts and a couple of extra bits and pieces. So, again, we've got a little hatch counter here, like a mini hatch counter there. Again, we've got a little crate on the bottom here. Okay, another one of those. We've got your airlock surround, as it were, which can sit on a on a floor tile. That's probably a better one. Okay, to create that effect, as it were. And so really, all we got left now is the little struts. They're like, call them like a super strut. They're pretty cool. They're very detailed struts that fit onto a wall. It can be used on a double level. So if you've got a standard wall, you'd use half of the strut, this bottom half here, and it can literally just sit on here like so, and it, oops, that's better, sit on here like so, and you've got this lovely sort of detail where you can look inside and actually see all the mechanics, and it's got a kind of a 3D, it's 3 pieces of card thick, which is pretty cool. If you've got a double level, which I haven't, you've got a sort of a double level part, pop this off, and you've got another piece of wall that sort of goes up there, This bit then can also slot in and slot at the top of one of these, and it makes this like nice big tall super strut, as it were. Nice for getting these, imagine that here, one here, get this kind of ribs down, if you had a lot of these, the ribs down into the docking bay, and you've got the docking bay door here, etc. So, there you go, move those out of the way. What it's made up of is these pieces here. You'll notice that on each of these pieces we have purposely left on the these little tabs that tab it into here. Okay, whereas on the finished piece, which I've chucked over here somewhere now, or is it over there? What have I done with it? Okay, on the finished piece, you actually only need the tab on this inside piece that goes inside. So you're going to cut these bits off. However, you might not want this super strut as it is, and you might say, well, hang on a minute, you know what, I'd rather have a load of these really cool sort of, you know, rib type parts, because if you did it that way, you really will get, you know, you'll get all of these struts out of one part, plus then you could have this as a strut. You know, you could do all sorts of really cool things. You could have loads and loads of really cool details, or you can go for this lovely detailed super strut. So there's a lot of flexibility to it from that point of view, right then and there. Okay, but assembling this together, the bottom first, make adjustments where you need adjustments. If I grab that one, and what happens is that bit sort of sits and sandwiches itself between those pieces, and then you just use these. You just use these clips here, one in there, and one in there to hold it together, like we got on here. And it's exactly the same as the other bit, the top bit as well. You're just going to grab your top bit and popping out these bits here. A bit of flashing on this, I think. A little bit of flashing on there where it's not cut through. One bit on there. And another bit on there. Okay. And you just sandwich the two pieces together like that, and the clip just goes in straight on there. That nice and simple. That is the docking bay 2-sheet set.